Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the homestead, the mud puddle. It's about 11:30 in the morning. We're just over 60 degrees. Beautiful. You can see behind me all the blue sky. Beautiful, beautiful morning. In fact, this morning, though, was the coolest morning so far this season. We were at 41 degrees on the front porch. So yeah, it was very chilly for us, and it was very tempting to start the wood burning stove for the first time this season. But we put it off because we knew we had to be outside early to get some chores done. But maybe tonight we'll start up the stove, or perhaps maybe tomorrow morning we'll fire up that wood stove for the first time this season. But other than that, guys, I want to take a minute to thank all of my subscribers. I really do appreciate it, guys, for all of you who leave comments and ask questions. I appreciate it, guys, and I hope you continue to follow along. If you're new to the channel, if you're just kind of scrolling along, I hope you consider subscribing. We have been off the grid in northern Arizona for just over 2 years, and we are having a blast, guys. And I hope one day everyone gets to experience something like this. That being said, guys, I hope you saw my last video. If not, please go back and watch it. We were having an issue with a squirrel. He was getting into our garden area and eating some of our veggies, and he was also stealing some of our chicken eggs. But we were successful. We trapped the squirrel. And in fact, yesterday morning, we went out miles and miles and miles away, and we relocated this little squirrel. So hopefully he'll find a new home out there and not come back. But that video, it gave me an idea for today's video, folks. I'm done with the morning chores. I'm going to be heading up the side of the hill, and I'm going to make a couple of snares. Maybe I'll catch more squirrels, or who knows what I'll catch. But anyway, guys, I want you to join me. And I want you to see how I make these snares. And it's fun for me, something to do. And so stick around, guys. If you have any questions at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section. Again, if you haven't subscribed, guys, please consider. So stick around. This is how we make snares out here at the mud puddle. Check this out, guys. This is a prickly pear cactus. I wanted to show you these little fruits here. I'm sure probably most of you know. You can eat these, and in fact, you can also eat this part. But I wanted to show you this. Got to be really careful. This is the fruit, prickly pear fruit. Oh, just got a little thorn in me. And if you peel this back, the skin, I don't know if you can see that. There's fruit inside there. Let me peel it back a little bit more. You can see the seeds. And, I don't know if you can see that, I've got to spit out the seeds. But it's very good, guys. It's very sweet. You can eat these. Very sweet. It almost tastes, to me, like a grape. A combination between a grape and maybe a pear. I guess that's why they call this a prickly pear. Very sweet to eat. It's an excellent fun little snack, if you're out walking around. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's warmed up quite a bit. We're only supposed to be in the mid 60s, but with the sun out like this, it feels a lot warmer. But there's still a cool breeze in the air. It feels pretty good. You can see where I'm at. A lot of boulders up here. A lot of good hiding places for rodents and squirrels. I've been looking for a small sapling. I found a couple of them, but they're a little too small. These are juniper pines. If you can't find a small sapling, you can use a branch like this off of a bigger tree, as long as it has a little bit of spring to it. You see that? So this is the spot I'm going to use. If you follow this down, the chicken coop is probably about 50 yards down. This is the same area where the squirrel that I caught last time ran up. Alright guys, this is what I have. Here's my branch coming off the main tree. Again, if you don't have a sapling, you can use just a basic tree and just utilize one of the branches. You want some flex in it. You see that? Plenty of flex. This is what's going to pick the animal off the ground. I've got my string tied up here on the end. I clean this up a little bit just so this string doesn't get caught on anything. Again, I'm using kite string. I didn't have any twine. I couldn't find any. But I think it's strong enough for maybe a mouse or a rat or maybe a squirrel. And I tied my stick, a small stick here about halfway down. You see this? You want to make sure when you tie it, it's off to one end. You see how it's not centered in the center of the stick? It's off to one end, and I'll show you why here. Let me set my camera down. All right, I hope that's good there. All right, so I'm pulling down the branch. All right, there's tension here. And the reason why this string is off to one side, you're going to need a small stick like this. It's buried about 3 or 4 inches in the ground. You don't want it to come out because this is where the trigger is going to go underneath. You see that? If it's not in the ground good enough, the whole thing's going to come out. So you want a stick like this buried in the ground with a small branch coming off one end. This is where the trigger is going to go. And right now there's a lot of tension right here. You see, the reason why the string is off to the side is because the branch wants to pull it up. See that? So what you need next is a small stick like this. This is where your bait's going to go. This can be longer if you want. I'm going to put an apple slice on this or maybe some pumpkin. You want this stick, first of all, I forgot to explain this. You want this little piece that comes out here where the trigger goes under. You want that facing the tree or the sapling. All right. The bait up here is the opposite direction. You see that? Now this stick, once again, wants to be pulled up. Let me get this out of the way here. It's kind of in the way. Piece here sticking out. There we go. You take this little stick with the bait, the opposite direction of this. You see that? Once again, this wants to be pulled up. So you place the stick underneath. I've got a rock under here, kind of a flat rock, to make it a little slick down here. But anyway, that's how you set your trigger. You see that? The branch wants to pull this branch up, but this stick won't allow it. And this is where your bait's going to go. This is the extra string that you have. I've got my little loop here on the end. And again, you can use fancy knots or whatever, but this is just the way I do it, very basic. And you feed the string through here to make a loop. See that? And that's your snare. You place this, obviously, over the bait. And what I like to do is I take this piece up here and kind of lay it over the top. That way it's nice and smooth when it triggers. It's a little hard to work with this small string. But I think it'll be strong enough for a squirrel. And there you have it. Obviously you want it over the bait right here. Let me turn this a little bit. And there you have it, guys. There's tension here because of the branch. And this is the trigger mechanism right here. You've got your apple slice here on this little branch. I may get some pumpkin or something. And you got your little snare right down here. So when the animal comes along and it starts messing with the apple slice, you see that? Oop. And the more it struggles, the tighter it gets. I hope you saw that. There are several ways of making snares. This is just the way I do it. Once again, you've got this stick here tied onto the branch. Goes under here. The branch wants to pull it up. This stick will not allow it. This is facing the branch or the sapling, and this is the opposite direction where your bait goes. Once again, the trap is set. Lay that over the top a little bit. Once again, it's really hard to work with this little string, but I think you get the idea. Animal comes along, tries to take the apple slice, and there you go. I didn't bring any bait with me, so I'm going to run back down the hill and maybe grab some apple slices or some pumpkin or something. And I think I'm going to make one more, either a little bit further down or up the hill a little bit further. But anyway, here's the trap. Straight down this line is the chicken coop beyond those trees, and that's where the other squirrel ran up through here, the one that we trapped already. So that's why I'm placing the snare here. There's an outcrop of boulders and rocks up here. A lot of little critters, I'm sure, hide up there. And again, I'm using like kite string, but it seems to be strong enough for a squirrel or whatever. Usually I like to use twine or something. But anyway, if I catch anything, guys, I will let you know in a future video. Thanks for joining today. I hope this trap makes sense. There's several different ways of building a snare, but this is the way I do it. And if you have any questions about it or any comment, let me know. Other than that, guys, take care of yourselves. Thanks again for joining. Thanks for subscribing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your tribe. We'll talk to you next time.